This page over here were just some cyber sketches that I really enjoyed. I love the cyber futuristic sort of cyberpunk type thing. It's a trend throughout all my artwork. It's a very common theme that I do, and I take a lot of inspiration from that kind of dystopian mixed with bright colors type of art style. So you're going to see a lot of that. Here is a page that I'm still working on at the moment. This is a hand cut rocket and moon. I actually just take scrap cardstock and I hand cut it out with an X-Acto knife or sometimes a rotary blade, depending on if it's like fabric or really thick cardstock, heavy cardstock, if you will. So I'm working on a background for this right now, and I'm just using highlighters and my Faber-Castell Pitt pens with the brush tip, and I do love those. And I'm not sponsored by any of these brands I'm mentioning. They're just products that I absolutely love. Over here, this page over here is just oil pastel techniques, and I was just practicing with a economically friendly kit that I got from Hobby Lobby, and that is the like $60, $70 artist kit, and it kind of opens like a briefcase. But I do love them, and I love trying to see how far I can push more affordable art products. Over here, this is another thing I was playing with. It's horrible, so please don't judge. But I had seen that you could lay down glue, just plain old regular Elmer's glue, white glue, and you could do a lot of artwork over it. So I did do it, and it's cool because it's got this beautiful texture to it. It's raised, but it's super smooth and soft. So it's nice having that kind of like textural aspect to it. It just says, I am many things, but the outline's done in glue, and I just wanted to see if I could layer watercolor over it, and it worked really great. Over here, just playing with highlighters and Pitt pens. On this page, I was playing with gel pens as well as highlighters. I love to try and see what I can come up with, even if it's a horrible sketch or piece of art, from using materials I have around me. So I can be in a waiting room in a doctor's office. I can be at work. I can be at home in the kitchen. Doesn't matter where I am. I love trying to do what I can with what I have. Same thing with these pages. I actually did this page yesterday. And this is just the Pitt pen in light indigo from Faber-Castell. And it's fun because they're super versatile. This one is actually the brush tip. But I love them. You can do a lot with them, even if it's just fun doodling sketching. So over here, I just did practices of lavender. I do have a bullet journal as well as art journals, but this was fun to put in here. This one over here was just a brain clearing moment, and it is watercolor over a cute little swirly wave inspired sketch and highlighter. And the quote says, stay close to anything that makes you glad you're alive. So super deep, and I love it. Those are just some sketches with a regular old pencil and Crayola. I couldn't blend them very well. I think I just need to practice more with them, but I think they're kind of cute. It's just holly berries and some holly leaves. Here is some practice on blending techniques just with graphite. I apologize, guys. That was my dog in the background, kind of unprofessional. But bear with me. I'm an animal lover. So over here, I just hand drew some circles. This is something I really love. Don't mind my perspective sketch in the background. That was for a building piece I did. This is done in Prismacolor. Here's my inspiration. It was a painting that I found on Pinterest. I don't know her name off the top of my head. I will post it later in the comments, but her paintings are brilliant. I do love them. And I just wanted to see if I could actually try and recreate it in Prismacolor. So I did, and I absolutely love, love, love it. I think the colors go fantastic together. And this is actually available in a print on my store. So I do love this. Over here, just some random pages. Here is another piece that I actually got off of Pinterest during quarantine. It was one of those tutorials for oil pastels. So I went ahead and did your traditional taping. And then I did the oil pastel piece down. And then all of my highlights, these little flower and the little like fairy dots, little glows, are done with whiteout and chalk markers. So that was a lot of fun to get different white values. Those are remnant cutouts from a card that I made on my Cricut. So it's really fun. It says I run a tight shipwreck, and it's actually something I will be making a full piece out of. Over here, just another quick sketch with my my Pitt pens and my Spectrum Noir markers. And it's just something rough, super rough sketch for an art structure that I'd like to make. So it'll be a sculpture, and I'm probably going to use some concrete, some paper, resin, different materials. But I want to make this a full physical structure. So it'd be a really cool centerpiece. A couple other pieces in here. I'm not going to show you the whole book. We're just going to do like a flip through today. Just playing with oil pastels. I love it. I love playing with colors, and I love seeing what kind of crummy stuff I can do to get through an art block. Next page over here, cut out from a magazine. I'm actually going to lay over pieces. This one over here was just done with highlighters and Pitt pens again. It's just a fence and different flower overhangs, and I'm actually going to play with perspective and layers here, just to play with that visual technique again. So you're going to see every time I put another piece down here, it's going to be closer in the foreground. Over here was another practice with oil pastels, super rough, but like I said, this was my quarantine. I guess it was in between starting to be an art journal and a sketchbook. So you're going to see a lot of stuff that's in progress here that I just needed to keep my mind preoccupied because quarantine was tough on all of us. So these are some very basic, rough pictures for art journaling, and they're going to be something that I go over in detail in some other videos. I'm going to show you some of my actual art journals that I've used all different kinds of materials and that are very finished. These are just rough. On this left one here, there is just very basic materials that almost anybody has in their house. I have a pen, I have markers, I have glitter glue, cheap clearance glitter glue. I have washi tape. These ones actually came from Happy Planner clearance, but I love them. I have nail polish. It's just black nail polish. That's all it is. And over here, I have just a cheap chalk marker. Over here, I have leftover ribbon, cardstock, glitter, highlighter, sequins, anything that you can find. But I just started layering down these backgrounds to do a spread for art journaling. And you know what? This is something that's very near and dear to my heart. I think it's a great coping mechanism. It's a great form of self-expression. And it's a way to be able to feel better just about existing and living and yourself and your choices you make and just what you love. So I cannot wait to do some classes and some tutorials and art journal shares with you guys in future videos. So if you have any questions or requests, absolutely please let me know. A couple of the other pages that I really want to share that I love in here. I have a random mid-century modern and oil paint pen cleaning pages, and there's just a ton of them, and I really love them. They just make me happy because they're colorful. They're very random, they're very abstract, and I think that is something sometimes that we need to just shut our brain off. So like I said, I like seeing color theories and what goes well together and what complements. So that's all that was, but they make me happy. Oops, sorry about that, guys. I only have a couple more pages here, and then I will let y'all go. So same thing here. I love playing in my sketches with complementary colors or colors in the same color family. I think it's really hard for us artists sometimes to narrow down and use a couple colors or a couple materials. And so we get super overwhelmed, or we think we need to use a ton of complicated stuff. So this is Prismacolor. I love putting the numbers for what shades were used. I usually do it in a cleaner fashion, but over here it's just kind of random. It's my sketchbook. It doesn't have to be nice. So I was just playing. I found a picture of a leaf with rain droplets in a magazine. So I took the tiny one and I just tried to make it bigger. It's kind of hard to see, but I don't mind it so much. Over there's an anime style eye, and I was just layering down my Spectrum Noir markers, which I do love. They're super brilliant. They come in this great case, and these I got from Hobby Lobby, but I absolutely love them. And I'm not sponsored by anyone, I just love these products. These are the dual tip Spectrum Noir markers. If I can get it off. Over here, you have a fantastic, cute little bullet tip. I do love it. It lays down lines really nice. And then on this other side, you have a really nice, large chisel tip. So those work great. I like to use them a lot. I'm still learning how to use them with layering the inks, but super fun, super nice. So those are Spectrum Noir from Hobby Lobby, and they are fantastic. And I like the case. And then the last page that I would like to share with you guys, you're going to see all different kinds of sketches in here and plannings for other art pieces, because I think that's super important. Don't ever let an idea go. I mean, we all have crap ideas once in a while, but you know, inspire yourself with it. Like, keep it, jot it down somewhere. You never know when it's going to like flourish into something else. So you're going to see more planning and playing with the Spectrum Noirs. And lots of mashups between words, quotes, nature, flowers. I do a lot of that. And I think it's always fun to try and come up with things that are great ideas you really love, that inspire you, that express your creativity, but that really just make you feel more connected to yourself and to your art and your surroundings. So, you know, this is a sketch for a cyber series that I'm doing. I really like blending, like I said earlier, that futuristic, but also the natural aspect of the world, because I think that's where dystopia and the concept really comes from. It's just when humanity breaks down and nature takes back over. So I'm doing a full cyber series. This one's more organic, but it's just notes to myself. So those are the only pages that I'm going to share in here today. This is just a Darius spiral bound sketchbook. I really enjoy it though. The pages do hold more materials than I thought they would, so I do enjoy that. It's pretty big, lots of pages, super sturdy cover, so that's brilliant. I have not had issues with the binding pulling yet, which I know the spiral binding sometimes, you know, they get pulled and catch things, but this has been brilliant. And on the back, I just took whiteout, and I just wrote, "Don't let the noise of others drown out your song. Hold fast." And it was a quote I saw somewhere. I don't know who it's by. If one of you guys do, please drop it in the comments. I love to give credit where credit is due. But it's just a note I wanted to myself to remind myself that, you know what, sometimes, especially with a sketchbook and art, you got to do your own thing, and you have to be proud of it and appreciate that you have this outlet. So thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye.